Okay, so today we're looking at another Resident Evil multiplayer game, and this is by far, probably out of all the competitive Resident Evil games they made, the best one. And it sucks that it did get left where it was and Reverse took over, because compared to that, this like leaps beyond, and it is actually fun. Nowadays it can be a little bit stressful, but it is fun, and it was really good back in the day when it was populated more. But it's surprisingly active still even now. It's got a die-hard fan base, and yeah, I do want to talk about it a little bit today and give it some praise. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get to it. So let me go over what the game is for anyone who may not have played it before. So it is a asymmetrical multiplayer game, kind of think about Dead by Daylight, where you have 4 survivors with unique abilities and skills, and their aim is to get through 3 floors of differing objectives and escape the map, basically escape the map. And you have to work together as a team to unlock doors, find puzzle pieces, destroy biohazard containers, all that cool stuff. And it's very well done, it's very fun. And then the other player is playing a mastermind, and they can spawn in traps, they can use turrets, they can spawn in zombies, they can control bioweapons. You can actually play as like Nemesis and Birkin in this game. It's really cool, and yeah, it's a lot of fun that way too. You have like a card system where you can kind of pick what you want to go in with, and you can buff those kind of units in certain ways. It's a lot of fun, and it does kind of encourage you to kind of think about what you're doing and not to just spam shit, and it is a good time. In terms of how to access the game, it's very similar to Reverse, where you actually have to own a copy of Resident Evil 3. It comes with that game. Unfortunately, I think this and Reverse honestly did suffer without them getting a standalone release. I think if they went free and standalone eventually, it would have been good. Or even if they went standalone with like a really small price tag, like a £10 price tag, it probably would have been fine. But unfortunately, no, they are bundled with the games. But the good news is you can probably get Resident Evil 3 for pretty cheap, fairly regularly nowadays. Going back to when the game first came out, I didn't have a clue what I was doing. It has a bit of a learning curve at first, so you got to kind of pick which character you want to play. Each of them are unique. So for example, there's a character that has better kind of interaction with cameras and gadgets. You can kind of counter cameras so that the masterminds can't see you. There's a firearms expert character, there's a melee expert character, there's one that's kind of more focused on healing. So yeah, they're all fairly unique, so you kind of want to pick one that would preference your playstyle, and that's the same for masterminds as well. So they all have different enemies they can spawn in, different perks that affect the enemies they spawn in, and obviously a different bioweapon, which is like their super ability, which they can use. And again, pick which one you think sounds the coolest and try and learn it. That's how I pretty much encourage anyone who plays a type of game that has like a hero type system where each character does different things, just to pick one that looks cool to you. Don't pick the one that's the best or whatever, just pick the one that you think looks best and then learn that one, and you'll be better at that one. So you are a big help to the team then, rather than just playing the meta at the time. One thing I really like about the map system in the game as well is they have like different variations. So you can get like the same map. So this one's like a casino type map, but you can also get the layout to be different per game and the objectives to be in different spots. Like there's a key objective, you got to find a certain amount of keys, puzzle pieces, and there's actually a zombie one where a zombie spawns with like a key card, and you have to find him and kill him, and he can spawn in completely random spots every time. So it makes the flow of the game different, which is really nice, and I love that about this game. It has a lot of replayability at the time, and even if you went on just to grind out character levels to get them upgraded, it was always worth playing. And again, when it was new, not a lot of people kind of knew the best strats and stuff like that, but that's when it started to get a little bit different as the game went on. So for a good bit after launch, they supported it. They had new maps, they added Mastermind to the game that was new, Jill got added to the game, there was a bunch of cosmetics themed around Resident Evil 2, and then some other cosmetics like different skins for the exclusive characters to this game, and that was a lot, and it was really well done. But after support stopped, the one thing that people started to notice was, because there was no more updates coming to the game, there was no more balance going to the game, everyone knew what the best stuff was, and 9 times out of 10, because you still have players that have played this game for a long time, they're just playing like the best possible build on the best possible character and pretty much rolling the game if anyone new joins, which can be a bit of a bother. Another thing with this game, obviously it wasn't ready at the time, and I think this was just before the time where everything started getting crossplay, but this one isn't. Reverse obviously is, but it's still kind of dead. But Resistance didn't get that, and again, I think the most popular console to play on is PlayStation. From what I've heard on PC, you can still get matches, but there are hackers, and that's shit. I am really sorry to hear that on PC, but I think the most popular kind of platform to go on is PlayStation. Again, Japanese game, Japanese studio, so you're more likely to get players on PlayStation. But the game is fun, honestly. It has its problems, especially nowadays with balancing issues and hackers and whatnot, but it is fun. 9 times out of 10, if you're trying to play it nowadays, you will come across players that are very high level and definitely know what they're doing. It is quite punishing for new players because you have to actually level up the characters to get their upgrades and stuff. So if you're starting out, you're probably going to get rolled. Sometimes we get lobbies where it's majority new players. But yeah, when you get lobbies where it's just like veterans, it can be really tough to enjoy it. But I really recommend sticking with it, because if you can push through that, learn the game, watch videos on guides and stuff for the game to get a head start, pick a character, level them up, I guarantee you'll have a good time. And if you've got some friends who own the game or want to play the game with you, like I said, Resident Evil 3 is pretty cheap nowadays, so I'm sure you can pick the game up fairly easily and really check it out, because it is a cooperative game. It's like cooperative PvP, so it is a lot better with friends. But yeah, it is a shame that they stopped supporting this one, because honestly, you ask anybody, I think, out of this and Reverse and Umbrella Corps, this is the best one. It's the most enjoyable, it feels good to play, it kind of makes sense in the whole kind of Resident Evil like story. Like it's really well done. And it's just a shame they stopped supporting it and replaced it with Reverse. I really do hope one day they make this a standalone thing, but I just don't think it's going to happen. And it's a shame, because it does deserve more attention than what it's got. But yeah, like I said in my Umbrella Corps video, I am going to try and get some community lobbies going on this game at some point, so keep an eye out on the Discord, I'll leave it in the description, and keep an eye out for YouTube community posts where I try and schedule when I'm going to be on. Use the comments to add each other on different platforms to see if you can get games going. But yeah, thank you for watching, leave your thoughts on Resistance down in the comments below, remember to subscribe to the channel for more Resident Evil content, and as always, I'll catch you guys in the next one.